Okay, you probably heard about the Mediterranean diet, and like me, I'm like, what's all the buzz about? Until I started reading up on it, and also the Mediterranean diet is one that a lot of dietitians are really jazzed about. Matter of fact, I think it's one of the few ones they recommend. I don't think it's really a diet, though. I think it's more of a lifestyle. So I'm going to go through and talk about what it is, some of the pros and some of the cons. And believe it or not, like anything else, there are some cons. So we're going to talk about that. The Mediterranean diet, like I said, is not just a diet, it's more of a lifestyle. It's based on people who lived in the country for centuries in the Mediterranean and Greece, Italy, Spain. And as you know, they were connected to some pretty good temperatures. The Adriatic coast is absolutely breathtaking. Spain is one of my favorites. And Italy, of course. Are you kidding me? My favorite of all times. And the combination of the fruits, vegetables, fish, grains, it's just overwhelming how beautiful those places are for growing these things. But basically, it's a bunch of whole, unprocessed, balanced intake of foods with macros and micros. Especially, you get a lot of micros with that diet, but the macros are balanced very well because it's based on a lot of abundant fruits and vegetables, of course, which are very regional there. So they're able to do that. Some parts of the country is kind of tough, but not there. And then we'll talk about why that can be a problem here in the States in some places. But here's the second thing about the Mediterranean diet that's kind of cool. You know, what it's all about is healthy fats. They don't have a lot of saturated. They don't have a lot of polyunsaturated. They have mostly monounsaturated fats from olive oil, and their fats are usually good fats. That's one of the big difference, huge difference. Lean protein sources. Yes, there's red meat in those countries, but they really focus more on their fish. And with the fish, you know, seawater especially, you're getting omega-3 fatty acids, but you're getting omega-3s in that, and it's a very lean protein. They're very big on leaner proteins, not like American diet, which are much higher in saturated fat in the meats. Whole grains, big thing. There's a lot of things, wheat, barley, oats, all part of the Mediterranean diets, but whole grains, not refined, not highly processed starches, but whole grains. Interesting. And for snacks, they're big on their nuts or seeds and their legumes. So a lot of intake with their snacking is much better. That's going to, of course, be good for healthy fats, protein, and fiber, right? They're very moderate with their dairy. They still have some, but they have moderation there, quite a bit less than, say, we consume in this country. And, of course, their claim to fame, they like their occasional red wine in moderation. And can you just drink 2 glasses at a sitting? So that's a big thing. But anyway, those are the 7 tenets of the diet. But let's go through the pros. The heart healthy benefits are over the top because you're getting lean proteins, you're getting omega-3 fatty acids, you're getting some really things that are going to help. Olive oil, of course. So all the good things that are going to be heart healthy. Reduction of chronic diseases because I think of the antioxidants, all the things that they're getting with the fruits and vegetables. That's going to really help with oxidative damage. It's really going to help reduce some of the onset of chronic conditions. Weight management. Typically, a lot of the dietitians like this. If you can keep your portions under control for a weight management, it's excellent because you won't feel deprived. You're eating from varied food groups. You're getting your proteins and your fats, a little bit more of that than you are your carbohydrates from your fruits and vegetables. Of course, you're going to have more of a feeling of fullness, and it's going to help. Longevity. I think one of the reasons why is the healthy fats. Maybe some of the things from the wine, I don't know. But they're also typically not a lot of overweight people typically on a Mediterranean diet if they're eating correctly. So enjoyable and sustainable. Absolutely. This is an extremely enjoyable, sustainable diet because you're getting whole foods, lean proteins, you're getting nuts, you're getting all these things that I think sometimes people miss out on. But sustainability, absolutely, especially for social dining, for getting together for people and having a Mediterranean, let's say, meal is going to be really something a lot of people are going to really enjoy. So here's some cons. Cost. Now, my wife and I go to the grocery store, and typically we spend a lot of time in the produce aisle, and we spend most of our money there, and then some lean proteins. But basically, it's more expensive to eat this way, especially when you live in an area where not all this stuff's available. Not, the lean proteins, the fruits and vegetables, it's not available as much for a lot of people, but it's going to cost you more. But does it really in the long run when you're healthier? And I don't know. But yes, that's one of the disadvantages is the cost. It costs more to eat healthy than it does to eat terrible. You can get carbs and fat at the fast food places and get it pretty cheap. Pizza's pretty cheap, right? So French fries are inexpensive, right? So I don't need to go into that. Alcohol consumption. This is something that's kind of worrisome. You can drink red wine and it's going to help with some of the antioxidants and all that. But the alcohol consumption in moderation is okay. But like I said, 1 drink for a female, 2 drinks for a male. 2 drinks for a male is considered moderate intake daily. So, and they like you to have a couple of days off per week. So alcohol consumption, can you just have 2, right? If you have more than that, then you're starting to get on the other side of it, then you're asking for problems. There's a lack of strict guidelines with this diet, and this is a big issue. There's really no guidelines. So some people might say, well, I'm eating a Mediterranean diet. Yeah, but you overate sometimes, you overconsumed, you had too many nutrient-rich things like olive oil and nuts, and you overconsumed. You know the old thing about how you have 15 pistachios in your hand, that's 100 calories. A lot of people forget that. Americans can get in trouble with the Mediterranean diet because they really overdo it with portions, which is a common thing with American diets anyway. Cultural adaptation. This is where people that culturally are raised this way usually do a much better job at reining in their portions and how much of each they eat, and I think that's a big factor. So cultural adaptation is something that people really need to think about if they're going to go on a Mediterranean diet. So that's it. I'll tell you what. I eat most of the time, I try to eat this way. My wife and I try to eat more Mediterranean style. We spend more, like I said, but we've gotten away from some of the highly processed, refined starches and pastas, and now we gravitate more towards the vegetables, the lean proteins, and especially the grains if we're going to get our carbs, right? So anyway, Mediterranean diet, good one? Absolutely. Is there other ones out there? Yeah, the one we use was based more on eating less meals per day, but also spreading out, your consumption with fuelings. But they all work. All diets work. It's just a matter if you're going to work them and stay on them. Okay. So I hope that information helps. And as always, our blog is all on this topic on the website. You can subscribe to our weekly email, RxHealthyHabits.com. Send me an email to RxHealthyHabits@gmail.com. And, I will get you on our list so you can get our weekly email that has all this in it, blogs, videos, etc. So I talk too much. I don't like long videos. So till next video podcast, stay healthy, stay strong, and try to think about gravitating towards eating more like the Mediterraneans so we can all eat well and live well. Till next video podcast.